Back to McLean Barbershop. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town 918 edition. We still kicking off our high school basketball show, and we got that look like two legends. I think he already a legend. He on his way to legend status. We got Jalen Montonati and Brian Montonati, the head coach at Owasso, and his son, arguably top 10 sophomore in the nation. Appreciate you guys for coming and talking about your team and you guys' success and everything.
Appreciate y'all having us, man. Love what y'all are doing here, promoting the kids, man. That's what it's all about, man.
For sure. Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you got going, where you from, where it all started at.
So I'm originally from Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
You know, my family is from Detroit. Grew up in Muskegon. Went to high school. Got recruited by a lot of schools out of the state of Michigan, and then ultimately ended up at Oklahoma State somehow, some way. Fell in love with Coach Sutton, the environment at OSU, and then end up, you know, having a career there, and then playing overseas in Italy for 9 years, and then ultimately ended up in Owasso. That's where I've been for the last 19 years.
So when you left Italy, you went straight into coaching in Owasso?
No, man, I didn't. When I retired from playing over in Europe, you know, I went through a deal where I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. You know, I was in, you know, private business sector, and then had an opportunity to coach some young kids with a friend of mine, and that's kind of how the whole ball got rolling for me to start getting into coaching in Owasso. There was a coaching change, and the guy that took over asked me to come on and help him out, be an assistant. So that's where I got my start.
So you say you was played in Italy. Is that where you was born at, over in Italy?
Nah, my sister was. I was born in Tulsa.
Okay.
And then like a week after I was born, I went over in Italy and lived there for about a year.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of how the Italy
connection.
Yeah, so the Italian connection is my great grandparents are from Italy.
Okay.
So that's how the whole thing, you know, got rolling. And when I went to play, you know, I left Oklahoma State. I did a little stuff with the Timberwolves, went to training camp with them, got released, went to Australia. You know, end up playing in Australia for about a couple of months. You know, I was down there with Randy Rutherford, so it was OSU connection. So we had a good time, and then I had a chance to go to Europe. My agent was telling me that, you know, we had a situation where we possibly could get my citizenship, which could change my career. You know, a lot of paperwork, a lot of chasing stuff. You know, that's 25 years ago, so it wasn't like you get anything on the internet. You had to go and dig and everything else. So long story short, end up getting the passport. Had a great career, man. You know, played at a really high level in Europe. You know, and got to see some things that I would never dream of seeing without playing the game of basketball.
Okay. Jalen, when did you pick up a basketball? When did it start for you?
I want to say about like the age of 3.
Okay.
Really, I remember him and my mom always telling me I'd like run on the YMCA court when my sister was playing basketball, trying to get out there and hoop. But I've been around it my whole life, you know, because of him and just growing up, him coaching me my whole life, you know, seeing what he did and just trying to like follow in his footsteps and, you know, build off the legacy.
Okay. Let me ask you, I'm going to ask both of y'all this question. And you ain't got to brag on him, I'll brag on him. He's one of the best in the country. We know that. What was the turning point for him, you think, where he hit that status? And when do you think the turning point was for you? You go for it.
I think it was, we're in 7th grade.
Yep.
Going into 7th grade. He missed a shot in the MAYB national championship game to win the whole thing. I mean, they played a great, I mean, they had a really good team. You know, Sean Williams was their coach. He did a heck of a job with them. And I saw that team progress as the year went on, and then I saw him in that championship game, and he had a really good game, like a really good game. And I remember him, you know, he took a 3 at the end to put us up 1, and it went in and out. So we get in the car, he cries all the way home, you know, like balling. Yeah. And the cool thing was for it is like you want to see your kids fail, like
for sure.
I think people nowadays don't want, you know, you try to do things not to have your kids fail, but like I think through failure you really they learn a lot of things, you know. So on the way back, you know, he was upset, and I remember the next day we were talking, and he said, "Dad, this is what I want to do. You know, these are my goals. This is what I want to do."
And you've been waiting for him to say something.
How do I do this? You know, and I told him straight up. I said, you know, I think right now your approach is a little wrong. I don't think you work hard enough with it. And he took off with it. I mean, you know, I remember one day he had his goals down, and we were looking at him. I was personally looking at him, and I'm like, man, this is crazy.
For seventh grade.
Yeah. You know, some of the stuff he had down.
I wasn't even thinking like that in seventh grade. Yeah.
But then, you know, I saw him work, man. It's the old school work, right? Guys want to get in the gym, but they want to get in the gym with somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know, with Jalen, you know, and he got in the gym, and it was in the gym 24/7. You know, practice, then come home, eat, get back in the gym. You know, and then you start to see his game start to evolve, confidence goes up, and I think that was the stepping stone when he realized, you know, what he really wanted to do going into that seventh grade year.
Right. What about for you? What you think, Joe?
No, I definitely would think it was that moment. He asked me like where I wanted to, you know, go to college and stuff. I said, you know, the Duke and the North Carolinas. He was like, you got to put the work in.
And OSU, right? You said OSU.
Yeah. All the Power Fives, I said all of them. And he just said, you got to put the work in. And, you know, from that moment on, I think my mindset, you know, switched to, you know, like becoming a pro. So in the morning, getting up 500 shots, practice, come back at night, 500 shots, it's the same thing. And, you know, I think the society we live in today, you know, everybody thinks they need a trainer. Through my 7th grade through 8th grade years, I did not have one trainer. And it was just me and myself working on stuff that I needed to improve on. You know, I didn't need anybody else. I just needed myself.
Do me a favor. Look in that camera and repeat what you just said again.
You do not need a trainer to become
not
great
saying
at
nothing's wrong with it.
Not saying nothing's wrong with it. I think it's something that you can have, and it's something good to have. I have a trainer now that, you know, works with me and our point guard, Bowden, and he's great, but in 7th grade, 8th grade years, I did not have a trainer. I was in the gym by myself, just working on my craft, and it was just me to, you know, critique myself and him to critique myself, and you know, that's just really where I took off. My 7th, 8th grade year, I just locked in and, you know, just got better day by day.
Okay. And before we get into some Owasso stuff, a team, because we're here for the Owasso, I'm gonna ask you this question, Jalen, and both of y'all, you can answer it too. Before you went to USA, and I know you had confidence in your boy, and I know you had confidence in yourself. Did you see yourself having as much success as you did when you reached USA and played on that team?
Yeah. I always had confidence in myself, but going to the training camps and playing against those top guys in the country, it expanded my game so much.
Yeah.
You know, seeing like what I need to get better on and all that. And then after winning a gold medal, coming back here, it just like the game felt so slowed down for me. It just felt easy, you know, coming back from, you know, playing on the biggest stage in the world. And, you know, it just helped me. You know, we had 2 weeks just going up, matching against each other and just grinding. You know, it's just straight grinding because for those 2 weeks you're just playing against each other and you're outside in the dorms with each other. That's all you see.
For sure.
So it's all there is just a hoop. So, you know, we just pushed each other to get so much better. And
did you get to watch them?
Man, it was
the practices. I
know
the
practices. The training camp, no, because so it was one of those deals where USA Basketball does a phenomenal job. Like it's insane, man. So they were like, hey, you can only come up for 1 or 2 practices. Okay. So I'm like, man, do I fly up, watch 1 or 2 practices, and then kind of wait, you know, or do I just wait, talk to them every day? You know. So it was one of those things where, and I knew some people up there, so you know, I could check in with them and how he was playing. But the thing that set it apart was in October when we first went up there for the mini camp. You know, when they'll bring like 50, 60 of the top kids in the country, and I remember, you know, sitting in the parent meeting, you know, and they're going through this stuff, and you know, we're talking, you know, like, I mean, it's just everything. It's NCAA, it's NBA stuff. It's crazy, right? Then you get on the court and you're looking, you're like, dang. And you're looking around and you're like, man,
it's
you know, the Boozer twins, and I'm looking for the nearest exit in case I gotta grab them, you know, and then get out of there. You know, so we're in there, and I'll be honest with you, man. That's the first time I'm sitting in there, you know, and I'm dad, man. I'm not coaching, you know. So I'm sitting up there, and I'm like, man, is he good enough? You know, is he good enough? You know, so you know, as the drills went on, you could start to see his skill set where he kind of fit in, right? And then the thing was, what set him apart was when they started playing 5-on-5. You know, he was in his right position, playing the right spot, the floor space. You're playing with some of the greatest kids, the best in the world, right?
No 2-3 zone.
The 1%ers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, dude, he's coming open, ball's moving. You know, I think his first scrimmage he had like 16, and it was like a 15-minute running clock scrimmage.
Gosh.
You know, and he's hitting threes, mid-range. So everybody's like, "Where's this kid? Who is this kid?" You know, and that's when I'm like, all right, like, you know, obviously there's stuff to his game that we got to add, and he's got to get stronger and keep growing and all that stuff. But I'm like, man, his skill set translates, you know, to not only the college level but possibly the next level. And going through that for me, it was like, all right, you know, it was a great information seeking trip because, you know, I felt like we got the blueprint on where he stood in the country and what we got to do to add to his game to keep him in momentum.
You knew what coming home. You knew what we need to work on.
Right. Because it was the first time. I mean, and here's the thing too, right? Like, he's always been tall, and this is why I've been so critical of me being a part of his coaching and bringing him up because, you know, like. If someone else coaches him, he's probably a post kid.
That's a fact.
He is a post kid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so going through it, it's like you try to when they're younger, you try to let them play positionless basketball.
That's a fact.
You know, and that's the one thing I told him is like, you got to be able to shoot it. You got to be skilled because if you can do that, you have positional size. People don't understand positional size. You know, like if you're a 6'7", 6'8", 2, 3. You know, that translates to possibly making a lot of money playing basketball.
Right.
So we got look like you're being a little cocky. You got the USA jersey. I love it. Where's your Italy jersey? Because you played for Italy too, though, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work? Do you have to pick one soon or what?
He was in a unique situation where, you know, having the dual passports. You know, he got to play with Team USA, and then also we were going over to play with the Italian national team. You know, they're very adamant on you know, him being a part of the long-term plan. So last year we got to go over after, you know, being in Mexico, we got to go to Europe. You know, and we were supposed to play in the FIBA championships, but some things got crossed, and man, I don't know what happened. FIBA was kind of weird on some things, but they denied him playing at the last minute with the Italian national team. But we were supposed to be able to play, so we got approval before we went over, and then some things fell through. But the cool thing about it was he got to spend about 3 weeks over there. You know, in the European game, you know, he got to see how they practice. You know, it's different over there.
Is it a big difference?
It's so different. You have like 45-minute warm-ups, and it's like the end of practice conditioning with us. I'm dead tired and no AC gym. So yeah, it was a challenge, but I think coming back and like looking back on it helped me so much, you know, going through that grind. You know, I'm not gonna lie and say like I enjoyed the practices because they were hard. They were 3-hour-long practices, but you know, making new relationship with those guys and, you know, playing the way they played, it was a cool experience. But
now that you've been over there, now you see why all them guys are having success in the NBA after witnessing it, right?
Yeah, it's a totally different game from the U.S. I think in Europe it's more pass, cut, and move, and then here it's more ISO based. So, you know, just experiencing that side of basketball, like two sides of basketball, has helped my game so much. You know, bringing it back to my high school team, you know, trying to implement stuff that I learned in Italy, and, you know, bringing it to the guys.
Gotcha. Okay, let's get into some Owasso basketball a little bit.
Let's go.
What are we looking forward to this year? Let's talk about some of your key players. Some of your players is coming.
That's not Jalen.
Yeah, that's not Jalen.
I mean, I love our group. Love our guys. You know, obviously it starts with our young guys. You know, and Jalen gets a lot of the attention, rightfully so. But you know, we've got a nucleus around us they're fun. You know, not only are they just fun dudes to be around, they're fun dudes to coach. Bowden Williams, our point guard. You know, him and Jalen have been BFFs since second grade. You know, they've been attached at the hip, and you know, I'm looking for him to have a monster year. I think he gets he's a little underrated. You know, I'm looking for him to have a huge year this year. He makes our team go. When Bowden's playing well, you know, we're tough to beat. You know, our other two sophomores are good friends of Jalen, is, you know, Cohen Scott and MJ Milton.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. Cohen might be the best defensive player in the state.
Cohen,
let me say it.
Cohen, man, he and I challenge him too, man. I challenge him every day in practice about it. He's got a chance, man, to be really, really special on the defensive end. Right. And then he's working on his offensive side of it, but defensively, man, he's a dog, man.
And you want to know something crazy, Coach? Because us parents, we get caught up in scoring. But listen though, so I mean, Cam is playing at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and I've been paying attention. He talked to me. He's like, they really don't need me to score. I'm just got to play defense.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So people don't understand how.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go guard.
Go guard somebody.
Go
and
guard.
You get some minutes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I give him the nickname Mr. 94 feet.
Yeah.
We want him picking up the point guard and just wearing him out.
That's
But yeah, I felt like, man, I don't know if it's old school. I think it's just smart basketball. If you play defense and take care of the ball, man, you got a place on a team, man. And then MJ, MJ's growing. We're looking for him to have a monster year. And I think those guys just add depth. We're still young, in a sense, because some of our sophomores, for the next few years we've got these guys, and then with our seniors. You got Gabe Patterson, who changed our team last year.
I think, we ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, I know
he changed our team big time.
I think we told you that was part of
it. He battled through some injuries when he got over there, and then we had to be patient with him. But man, he's in best shape he's ever been in. Thing I love about Gabe too is he's just tough, man. Gotcha. Physical, just do the little stuff. He'll extra pass, he'll guard dudes. He's not worried about scoring. He's kind of like our wild card where we can put him. I mean, we can really play him 1 through 5. We can play big and then we can go small and put the ball in his hands. And then you got our 2 big guys, Anson Harbaugh and Gage Nantois. Not a lot of people know about them, but they're program guys. They've been around the program for the last 4 years. They're strong, and when I say Anson's country strong, man, he's country strong. He's in fact, I got a call the other day about him, possibly having an opportunity to play, at the next level.
Okay, that's good.
So I mean, those guys, that's kind of rounding out our seniors, and then we've got Cody Lecklider, who was at Owasso, then moved to Verdigris, and then moved back to Owasso. 6'4", 6'5" wing, very explosive. Can get out and run, can shoot a little bit. We've got to get him playing defense. And then he rounds out our senior class. And then Jax Kerr moved in from Hilldale, 6'10" kid.
I like him.
Lot of upside, man. A lot of upside. He's understanding, the intensity level that we bring every day in practice.
Coming from a small school.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But,
not at all.
But
it's different. 6'8" different.
Right, it is, man. And then he schools come in and look at him, and like I've told him, you got to bring it every day.
Got to.
You got to get stronger. But man, he can shoot it. He's learning how to play around the basket, and the one thing he has is size, man. You can't coach size.
Yeah.
So that's our group, man. We've had some injuries. I mean, just some weird stuff happened in the preseason. But I really like our group, man. They're unselfish. They're going to be a fun team this year.
When you lose, the head coach get all the blame. When you win, the head coach gets the credit sometimes. Tell us about some of your assistant coaches.
Ricky Peeker, man, he's been with me for, I think this is my 8th year as head coach. He's been there for all of them except one. Ricky, man, he's my guy, man. He does a lot. And I think when you have a staff that, I think when they understand what you want and what you're looking for, they bring so much more value to the program, not only just coaching wise, but relationship wise with the kids. They're always around. They're in the gym with them. They spend a lot of time with them outside of basketball. And Ricky does a lot for us, man. He does a lot of our scouting, game planning. I mean, we talk like during the season. We talk 3 to 4 times, 3 to 4 times a day after practice or before practice. So, and we've been together so long that he knows what I want. So it's a good fit. And then his brother Jerry Peeker moved over from Morris. I was trying to get him up there for the last couple of years. Just workhorse guys, great people. Just want to work. They do it the right way. Jerry was a head coach, and he was willing to leave being a head coach to come be an assistant in Owasso. So that kind of tells you about who he is and what he's about.
For sure.
Very selfless guys. Then you've got James Scott, who's had a relationship with these our younger guys forever.
He coached the 8th grade team, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But see, the crazy thing was he coached them a little bit. So I stepped away from him because I got so busy with the varsity team. So Coach Scott kind of took over our Owasso Elite group, when they were, 6th grade, 6th, 7th grade? Yeah. So, he does a great job, like I'm on him and the other guys, he's the guy that comes and,
he's a good cop.
Yeah, good cop. You know what I'm saying?
Good cop. That's
and the thing too I love about Coach Scott, man, is he's in the gym with them. Like with Bowden and Jalen, they're constantly in the gym, and he'll be up there. He lives in Sand Springs, and he's in the gym with them at 6 a.m. So those guys, man, I mean, our staff is phenomenal, and I think that's why we've had a lot of success in the last, few years, because we've got guys that want to coach basketball, and they're basketball guys.
Okay. Let me ask you something. I think we talked about it a little bit off camera, but how do you feel about the district splits? We're not getting the big time matchups no more on the east side like we used to have.
It's good and bad. Right.
It's bad for us fans.
Yeah, man.
And Jalen, because I know Jalen want those matchups.
That's what we talk about, right? We talk about that. Obviously something had to change in high school basketball. Right.
Yeah, because
the setup, the way it was, and like man, the way, if you look back the last few years, like, we don't duck anybody.
Yeah.
We play in the hardest tournaments. So if you start out bad. And like last year, I mean, I think we were 2-6 going into Christmas break, right? But we played in that 8-game window. We played 5 number 1 teams, from Kansas to all over the place, right? So we didn't really know how good we were. We were just taking lumps because we were young and inexperienced,
and it helped too, though.
Right? But the problem was under the past system,
it hurt you.
Yeah, you fall off the map, man. And then now you're beating people and you're trying to catch up, and then the last 4 games of your season don't count.
Yeah.
So something had to obviously change, and districts allows us to play our season out. I think the last 2 weeks of the season are going to be huge because it's going to have a bearing on your playoff seeding, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of, we get to go west now. Yeah, man, I'm going to miss playing Booker T, man. Right. I'm going to miss
I'm gonna miss getting on your 10Ks against
I'm gonna miss y'all, man. I mean, that's the
only time we don't like each other. Everybody think we hate each other. No, it's just a rivalry.
It's competition, man. It's competition. So, but it's man. That's the stuff, man. I got mad respect for what Booker T's about, man. Where I come from that kind of environment. So I thrive to go play in those games, man. And I know our guys do now too. But not being able to play Booker T, not being able to play Broken Arrow, not being able to play Jinx, not being able to play Bixby. And then I feel like, I'm always trying to sell the game of high school basketball for the guys and everything else and to generate some excitement, man. I mean, like, we want to play as much around here because I feel like we can draw a crowd, and then also the media will be around, which is just going to be a win-win for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that we're going to miss about it too, but like, I just love the fact that every game counts right now.
Gotcha. Right. We're going to take a small little break. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town 918. We got the 6A state champs.
No, don't put that on us yet.
Okay, my fault. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the Smith Family Agency. It's simple. They make sure you have the right insurance coverage on your home, auto, or business. They also have the best prices for insurance in Oklahoma. Call my guy Brian Smith with questions, and he will give you a quick quote. We trust him to always do the right thing for you and your family. Call Smith Family Agency at 918-417-7400 and tell them the Bubby sent you.
Back at the McLean Barbershop off a break. Let me ask you this, Coach. We all cocky. If it's one matchup you want, who would it be? And Jalen, you answer it too.
One matchup?
Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah.
It would be, you got to play the best, man.
Right.
So I'd say it'd be Edmond North.
Did y'all play him last year?
No, we didn't. BA beat us in the state semifinal.
That's right.
So they got. Yep. But I mean, if you're going to be the best, you gotta play the best, right? They're the 2-time defending champ, So, and Coach Norris does a heck of a job with them. Heck of a job. And Dylan Warlick, he's the best player in the state, in my opinion. In 6A, So. I'd say it'd be those guys.
Damn, that's crazy. You say that your son said.
Well, I mean, he's got to knock him off his throne, right?
Yeah, he got 2 state championships.
What you gonna do, Jalen?
Yeah, I'd definitely be Evan North.
Evan North.
Yeah, and I don't think a team in 6A has gone back to back. So,
right. I had to think about that.
If we match up with them in the state championship and we win, then we set ourselves up to go back to back. So, just trying to knock them off this year.
That's a lot. That's a lot, ain't it?
Yeah,
I like it though.
So,
I like it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play the best. Like you can match me up with anybody, top 10 in the nation. I don't care. I'm gonna go like for your neck. So
yeah, that's a fact.
And that was like my mindset this summer. Like any team that we played, it's just like I'm gonna go at you, and so that's always been my mindset. And he's installed that in my mind from a young age.
So with your dad coaching at Owasso, how long you been there, Brian?
Man, a long time. I think 14 years. And then this is my 7th or 8th year as head coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who was some of the players like that maybe he coached or that you looked up to?
Shake Milton,
For sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
I remember being a little kid and watching him play. I'd be screaming for him. So, and, Proctor. He played.
Oh, yeah.
He was my guy. He always used to throw me in the shower when I was a little kid. But yeah, he's my guy. Jalen Lowe. He was a hooper.
Yeah.
Just all those guys. Caden Fry. I grew up, I'm boys with him now. So seeing what he's doing at Rogers State, is good for him. Kyler, so
I see he's doing good now.
Yeah,
Really
he's doing
good,
good.
really
So he's done a heck of a job getting guys to college.
Yeah.
Kyler, had a big week, and then Fry. Second year starting at Rogers State. EJ's been playing good. Brandon's been playing good. So, he gets guys to college, and, all those guys that go to college, they all come back to him and say, man, thank you, coach, because you got me ready.
Being hard on them and everything.
Yeah, for sure. He gets them ready.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Coach. When did you realize, I'm going to say it, or when did you realize he was going to be at this elite level? Was it the 7th grade, or was it USA? Was it, you know what I mean? When did you realize he was going to be what he is now? And, of course, he's still got to get better.
It's one of those things, man, where sometimes I have a hard time with it.
Because it's yours.
And then I'm a realist, too, right? So being around basketball my entire life and playing at a high level and, being around pros, you can't take anything for granted. It's hard, man, getting there. The one thing though that like I felt like he has an opportunity is mindset and just how hard he works, and he's really skilled. Anytime you throw something out in front of him, he attacks it.
Yeah.
This summer, if you look at the summer that he had, the past year that he had as a 15-year-old was incredible, right? He comes on the scene. Before he steps foot on high school, there's this big article that's written about him being the next guy.
Man.
So. As a parent, you're like, man, you want to protect him a little bit, but also, it was him being him. He works his tail off, and then he goes into his high school year. Before he plays his first varsity game, he gets his Division I scholarship offer.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of it, and then it's Montonati's the one that's doing it. Dad is doing this, and I'm behind the scenes. Like if anybody's seen us, like
I made a call for him.
Jalen's the one. Jalen's put himself in this position because of who he is, not because of who I am or what I've done. But it was going through the whole year, man. It was watching him struggle. In the beginning of his freshman year at the 6A level. Just the physicality of the game, and then you could see things click, and then he started settling in, and he looked more like when he was playing his own age, right? And then he took off, and then when we went to MoCan, man, he had an unbelievable EYBL, man, like unbelievable, like the stuff that he was doing, fellas. I'm sitting up there just like, as dad, man, like dang, I gotta find something to nitpick out. So that stuff, man, and it all came back to his work, man, because I'd watch him play, and when we work out, like the stuff he works on is the stuff he does in the games.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So. And then the USA deal, honestly, I didn't know if he was good enough to play and make the team. But watching him go through that process and how lengthy that was and how stressful it was, you know, for us being here and then not knowing if he was going to make it, but then I'm getting reports of how he's playing, he's shooting it well, he's doing all those things. That's when I'm like, okay, you know, he's got a chance. But then that's when all the praise comes, and with all the praise and hype, then you got to handle the other side of it, and that's the other side of it's what really fuels you, right?
That's a fact.
And I think he's done a really good job of just, you know, keeping level-headed, man, and keeping his head down, and just being what it's about. You know, it's the work.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: what's some short-term goals for your team, for Owasso?
Oh, short-term goal. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let Jalen answer that. Yeah.
Obviously, we got the TOC coming up, so, you know, looking forward to going and competing in that. And then playing a good Arkansas tournament to start off the year. We'll play a couple of good teams there.
When is that?
December 7th through the 9th. So we're playing over in Fayetteville, like Plano East.
But you usually always go to Arkansas, right?
No, we'll go over there and play Fayetteville.
Oh, okay.
Somebody just said didn't they just say they played Plano East?
Yeah,
they played them.
did.
You said it was pretty good.
They're really good, really good. And then, you know, PC West, you know, Lenny's my guy, so I'm always trying to find Lenny, you know, so we can get matched up.
You need that pressure, though.
As soon as I knew he was going over there, I'm like, yeah, you got to sign us up, you know, sign us up. And then, you know, there's a team out of, obviously, Fayetteville will be really good.
I got you.
So, yeah, man, I mean, but go ahead. You can talk about it.
Yeah, no, I think our group this year is just, you know, focused on that gold ball.
Yeah.
I feel like anything short of that, you know, will be a disappointment for us. So we're all locked in, you know, every day coming in and competing against each other, you know, trying to make each other better.
Oh, okay. Now, what's some of your long-term goals individually?
I feel like if, you know, I take care of business and, you know, keep on winning and winning, I think all the individual accolades will come, you know, like the Gatorade Player of the Years and, you know, all that stuff. But, you know, I'm not going to, you know, go out of my way and try to average 30 because that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I try and win games because I'm a winner. So, you know, just focusing on, you know, 1 year at a time, you know, trying to help my guys out and, you know, win as much gold balls as I can.
Got you. Take us through a day in the life of Jalen.
Day in the life, I'll wake up usually around 5:15 in the morning, and then I'm out the house at 6, going to the gym, get a workout in before school, and then practice for about hour and a half, 2 hours, and then after that in the gym, you know, just working out for about like another 2 hours just on my game, and then home and, you know, doing all the other stuff like stretching, eating, all the yoga stuff. So, you know, just recovery stuff, and then in bed by like 9:30, 10.
Gotcha.
People don't
all
know.
over
Sleep
again.
is the most important.
It
You got
is.
everything.
It
For
is.
sure.
And the thing too, man, is like him and Bowden, man, them dudes, man, they wear me out sometimes.
You gotta kick him out the gym sometimes.
Yeah, he's got to come in and get us out.
They wear me out sometimes, man.
But that's
it's awesome, man. And that's the thing that separates them, you know, from other guys.
Yeah.
They do, man. I mean, it's the old school in the gym and doing the right stuff.
Right.
You know, not in there just, you know, jacking up shots, but actually working on your craft and getting better. And those two, man, they are a pillar of hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
What's your hobbies? Is your hobbies just basketball? I know you do something else.
Yeah, I play 2K.
Okay.
So 2K is my game. I play with Johnny and, you know, the guys. So, yeah, just mainly on the game when I got free time.
I got you.
How's recruiting going?
It's good. You know, I've heard from a couple different schools. I think right now I'm at 11 offers. So, you know, just taking it day by day, you know, going over with my parents, my coaches. You know, just we're not trying to rush anything.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know,
could be calling too. So.
yeah, you know, setting up a couple unofficial visits. You know, I'm looking forward to going down to Michigan sometime soon and Iowa. So, you know, just taking it day by day, you know, enjoying the process. I think that's the biggest things, not like being stressful, no reason to stress about it. So just taking it day by day and, you know, enjoying it.
I know your pops is huge in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your pops something that you ain't that you just want to get off your chest. You know what I'm saying? Some
Be careful.
Some father to your dad, though.
If it wasn't for him, I would not be the top 10 player in the nation. You know, he just installed a mindset in me that was just, you know, held my game so much, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being tough. I feel like that's one of my, you know, biggest factors is just toughness, and, you know, he brought that into me, and I've just hard work. You know, he told me like what I needed to work on. He's always kept it real, kept it 100 with me. So you know, he's not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
He's definitely not gonna lie to you. He's gonna tell you the truth, and I feel like that's what a lot of people, you know, lack in their life. They hear, oh, you're so good, you're all this. He's going to keep it real, and he's going to tell you what you need to hear. So, yeah.
What's your why?
My why is having 7 guys getting their education paid for.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got 7 guys right now that are in our program that are getting their college education paid for, and it's not only that. It's the other little things too. It's getting guys to do things that they never thought they could do. You know, and having them be a part of something bigger than themselves. You know, we got guys that don't have the opportunity to go play in college, but we feel like, you know, we hope we play a small part in what they do and helping them become the people that they're going to become down the road. Yeah. You know, rather that, you know, like we're demanding, our program is demanding, you know, I want everybody to play, but it's not for everybody.
For sure.
You know, we lift weights in the morning with Coach Johnson at 6:30, you know.
He the best.
We do a ton of stuff off the court. We do a ton of stuff on the court. It's not like, you know, once or twice a week, it's every day. You know, our practices are intense. They're hard. I challenge guys. I've always felt like you grow the most from being uncomfortable, you know, and being in uncomfortable situations. That's my why, man, you know, and seeing these guys, having them come back, you know, and talking to them, getting a text from, you know, guys at night, you know, saying, Coach, I appreciate you, man. This is what I'm doing. You know, that's what it's all about.
All right. Jalen, you be ready for that target on your back. You know what I mean? Don't lose your cool. Yep. Remember, your teammates need you. Yep. You know what I mean? And listen to him. He knows a little bit about ball.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate no text this year either. If you get a text, I want 10 push-ups.
All right.
Hold it.
Don't worry.
ASAP.
And here's the thing, too, man. It's like, you know, he understands what he's up against.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and we live in a world, man, where there's a lot of people against you than being for you.
That's a fact.
And the thing that I love about I love about him, man, is you know, he does all the right things to put himself in position to have success. And if he does fail, like I look at it like this, man, if the kid never plays 1 minute in the league, what has he learned over the last 5 years?
That's for sure.
Work ethic.
That's for sure.
You know, his work ethic.
And how to fight through adversity.
And how to fight through adversity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, you know, what he's doing is special, and I'm excited about our guys. I think a lot of our guys are like-minded kids.
Yeah, for sure. And the last thing, some advice I don't know everything, Jalen. Just remember, when you are playing a game, you have young kids that are looking up to you. Just like we had these kids in here. They want to be here to see you and Dayton. On the court, remember that. Body language matters. If they see Jalen, well, Jalen shrugs his dad off. Why can't I shrug my coach off? You know what I mean? Helping your teammates, being a good teammate. Make sure you realize that eyes are on you, not just adults, the little ones, all right? And we appreciate both of you guys.
Appreciate you guys, man. You guys do a heck of a job, man. Heck of a job.
Appreciate it. If we could do anything, we're there, but we'll be there supporting you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Appreciate you, brothers.
Talk of the Town, 918. Shout out Johnny Dash, man. Thanks for taking care of my guy.
Johnny's our guy, man. He's a Owasso guy now. Johnny's a Owasso Rams, baby.
I got all told the other day. I'm like, bro, you been acting different when you weren't acting like that when you was booking TV in that guy. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, 918. We got the 6A state champs. You ain't got to say it. We got it.
You guys got it.
#1 sophomore in the country.
He's not gonna say that. He
you ain't gonna say that? Yeah. We got the #1 sophomore in the state for sure.
I'm not on the country.
Country. Mr. USA. Thank y'all.
Another year is coming round. Working hard and putting it down. The twins is looking for the talk of the town. Bryce Thompson is the talk of the town. Yeah. You know how this game goes. Good grace, keep your game cold. That's gonna get your pockets swole. The twins is looking for the talk of the town.
Minutes like Prentice, hand me the ball, handle business. I'm smooth like Wayman, who put that work in without playing. I shook him like Jacob, don't need the mask, keep the makeup. A big shot like Bowie, things can get real entrepreneur-y. I'm epic like McLean frame, I'm Shay selling. Guess it's a V thing, I'm out the mud, I swerve the D-train. Haters can't stand it, like Calvin George, left-handed bandit. The key on the camera, keep flying high, it ain't no landing.
Another year is coming round. Working hard and putting it down. The twins is looking for the talk of the town. Bryce Thompson is the talk of the town.